Hey guys, this is Stacy from eatthebite.com, and today I'm making Super Bowl mini meatloaf bites with mashed potatoes and gravy. Let me show you how to make it. We'll be making mashed potatoes for this, so we'll start by peeling the potatoes. Then I'll cut them in half, then in half again, and after that we'll cut them into cubes, just like you see here. Then I'm going to put them in a pot of water to boil for about 20 to 25 minutes until they're soft and ready for mashing. We'll dice one whole onion for this, so just cut it in half, cut it into thin strips like this, and then dice it down into smaller bits like you see here. You'll need to run your knife over the onions a bunch of times to get the pieces nice and small. I'm going ahead and transferring these over to a pan with olive oil, salt, and pepper. After that, I'm going to take some garlic, and we want to dice that down fine as well, just like you see here. I don't like using raw onion in my meatloaf, so I'm going to saute the onions for a few minutes until they're translucent and slightly browned. Then I'll add my garlic to the middle of the pan with a splash of olive oil, cook it briefly in the middle, and then I'll mix that in to incorporate it with the onions. After that cooks another couple of minutes, I'm going to let it set aside and cool. It's time to assemble the meatloaf. So I've got some Italian breadcrumbs, and I'm going to pour a little milk in there, and then I'll give that a mix. And it's pretty mushy right now, but I am going to let that set aside to thicken up for a couple of minutes. I'm taking an awesome Super Bowl shortcut here, and I'm using packaged brown gravy for the meatloaf. It's so easy. All you have to do is add water, bring it to a boil, and turn off the heat to let it thicken. You should wait until the end of the cooking process to make this because it only takes a few minutes. All right, let's make our meatloaf. I've got 2¼ pounds of ground beef, which is an 80-20 blend. I'm going to add some Worcestershire sauce, salt, barbecue sauce, dried thyme, a little shaker parm cheese, the garlic and onion mixture, and our breadcrumb and milk combo has thickened up very nicely. This will give us a fluffier meatloaf, which I love. So I'll add that in, crack a couple of eggs, and now it's time to get our gloves on and give this meatloaf a good mixin'. Just make sure you mix the ingredients together like this until everything is well combined and looks about like this. I've got a parchment paper lined sheet pan, and I'm going to use my 1/4 cup measuring cup to make sure my meatloaf bites are all the same size so they cook evenly. Just stuff the meat into the cup to get your size, scoop it out with your hand, and shape it into a small mound. Simply line up your meatloaf bites in a row, and I happen to have a really large sheet pan that can hold about 18 or 19 of these, but if yours are smaller, just spread them out onto 2 sheet pans. Next, I'll cook this in my preheated oven at 425 degrees for 15 minutes. And here they are, fresh out of the oven. I've drained the water from my potatoes, and I'm going to add some butter, salt, and pepper. I've also got some warm milk I heated in the microwave, and I'll slowly pour that into the mashed potatoes while using my hand blender. Add a little milk at a time until the potatoes have the consistency you want, and don't forget to give them a taste to make sure they're just right. Now comes the fun part, assembling and decorating our Super Bowl mini meatloaves. I've got these cute little toothpicks I got online, and I'm going to stick them into each portion. I've got my easy packaged brown gravy ready to go, the awesome mashed potatoes, of course, and a little chopped parsley for garnish, which is optional. You can use a regular kitchen tablespoon for this and scoop 1 heaping spoonful on top of each mini meatloaf. Next, we're going to add a spoonful of that brown gravy on top of each meatloaf as well, and then a pinch of parsley if you're using it. And let's take a closer look at this beautiful platter of food. So, I've got these cool football-themed toothpicks, and I'm sticking 2 on top of each meatloaf. You'll find these on Amazon. Just do a search for football toothpicks or football cupcake toppers, and you'll find them. Once they're all topped, I couldn't tilt my platter to show you, so here's a couple of photos so you can see the final result. These meatloaf bites are absolutely delicious and perfect for Super Bowl Sunday food. You're going to love them. That's all for now, guys. If you're looking for more Super Bowl food, you should check out my other video which has more great recipe ideas for game day. I'll leave the link to that below in the description. And as always, you'll find this and all the printable recipes over on my website at eatthebite.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.